well, this is extracted from the Wikipedia. And Wikipedia, yes. And the definition of population control properly, it's referred to mainly to animals, dogs, cats, cattle, or other species. And this definition is, I will read it, is the practice of artificially maintaining the size of any population, referring to the act of limiting the size of an animal population so it remains manageable. But in the case of humans, persons, human people, the term is human population planning, and is defined as the practice of managing the growth rate of human population, um, and it has been historically used for both cases, when you want to increase the population, and also when you want to decrease the human population. And well, talking about both animals and also people, human people, um, the same factors. Sorry,
Human beings.
human beings,
Not
human
people. Human beings.
beings. Well, talking about animals and also some factors, some influencing factors apply to both. So some of those factors are the food. So when there is food, this is just not for animals, but also for human beings. That when you have food, available food, um, there is time to grow. And well, if the quality of the land, it's also other fact in agriculture. Extensively, here we say agriculture when they um, I don't know what's the word when you uh, have the produce of the land, and well, the and they the or whatever this land, the land that they use it to rest for 2 years because of the plants that they have cultivated use the minerals, the fertility of the soil. But in the current world, the land, the soil is used with uh, fertilizers, chemical fertilizers. Yeah. Well, this compounds is the less nutritious is the food, meaning that that the soil is less fertile. It also has an impact in the reproductive factor of the species. And well, that's I guess that's the main influencing factor, because we'll talk about later. Because the it's not just the food. It's it's related to the herd, that they are not infinite, and the population is growing exponentially, but the resources of the herd are finite. So there is a problem there. And the next influencing factor is predators. This applies mainly to the animals, because we as human beings, um, we don't have any species that will be considered as dangerous for us. In fact, we are the predators in the world.
Mm, correct.
So, well, for in the case of animal species, they have predators. So the predators are have this task of balancing the amount of population.
Mm,
So when uh, population becomes larger, the
mm,
price,
mm,
there is more food
mm,
for predators, and then the predators, they increase their population. And in the other side, when there are no predators, or their number decreases, then prey the prey species can increase very quickly, because there is no predator uh, controlling their there is no predators eating, and therefore lowering the amount of population. um, there is also the competitors that I guess it mainly applies to plants and some animals.
mm,
It's when similar species or organisms that have or use they need the same resource, then they start to compete with the other species.
mm, mm,
um, and that is also a factor that reduces the growth of the population. And well, there is also the parasites or disease or virus, or whatever, or other, also bacteria,
Bacterias.
um, bacterias, thanks, bacterias, that they may cause disease to the species, and therefore they slow down the growth of the population, because a lot of individuals in the species, uh, they die because of the disease. And from these four factors, I guess food and parasites or disease are nearly the only two that affect human beings. And also, these factors are called biotic factors,
Mm,
because involves living
mm, mm,
species.
mm,
But there is also some factors called abiotic,
mm,
and we will see that in the next slide. Um, these factors, not they are not living species or that have life,
Mm.
but instead they are some conditions that also influence in the growth of a population. So also, I guess the temperature is one of the most worrying uh, factors because we are uh, facing this problem of the greenhouse
Emission.
effect.
Greenhouse effect or greenhouse emission.
Sorry, um, the greenhouse. Can you write it down,
Yes. Yes, hold on.
please?
Greenhouse effect, you said, or the other term, greenhouse emission.
Emissions. Emissions.
Yeah,
Okay.
emission.
Yeah, because yeah, exactly. Thank you. Um, we have seen in a previous class that some of the in most industrialized countries,
Mm.
uh, they they produce nearly 80%, if I am right,
That's
remember.
correct. 80% of the greenhouse effect or emission from factories
Yeah,
and industries. Mm.
yeah, exactly. And uh, in talking about time, I guess this problem is the most urgent.
Mm.
Um, we are now facing the consequence of this rising temperature in the world.
Mm.
And here in my country, for example, the last year, well, when it was the rain season,
Mm.
it didn't rain this year.
Mm.
So uh, we were hoping that the rain will come,
Mm.
and happily, it's December. It's not common that mm, in December will rain every day. It's more in January
Mm.
and until May.
Mm.
But it's raining a lot this month. And
So the pattern of the climate changed because
yeah,
of
also in around Christmas and New Year,
mm.
there is some products, uh, fruits,
Mm.
vegetables
Mm.
that had their season, and they uh, agricultures they bring their products, and because of, I guess, because of this lack of rain,
Mm.
uh, there is no fruits and vegetables
Mm.
that commonly were available in this month.
Mm.
So, well, that's an example, but uh, every country is facing this problem.
Mm. Yeah, agree.
Well,
Not only your country, but ours as well.
mm,
Mm.
um, well, the next factor is the availability of oxygen,
Mm.
clean oxygen.
Mm.
Uh, it's related also with the four factor of the toxins and the pollution.
Mm.
And well, this have an effect and a negative effect in you will see most people now suffer from illness related to the I don't know what's the
Lungs?
word for
Lungs?
uh, the
Pneumonia?
lungs. Yes,
Mm.
lungs. Um, uh, because the air that we are
Breathing.
we are breathing uh, has a lot of mm, particles,
Contaminants.
contaminants. Yeah, and it has an effect in the people, in his quality of life, and uh, here in my country, the people believes that the cancer, tumors,
Mm.
they they come from two things. One is because the air we breathe is no longer clean,
Mm.
and the water that we drink is no longer clean. Also,
Mm.
they believe that because of that is that we currently see a lot of people having illnesses like cancer or tumors, something that people didn't have back when they were young. Well, talking about uh, my grandfather. Well, that's the impression of the people here.
Mm.
Um, well, there is also another factor, the light availability.
Mm.
In the case of plants, in the history of the earth, it's documented that in at certain points in time, uh, there was no sun because volcanoes,
Mm. Mm. Erupted,
things like
and
that.
then the ashes, the smoke covers the sunlight.
Yeah,
Or so there's darkness, and so there's no photosynthesis process where plants can grow. Okay, I knew that. And then.
yes. Well, these four factors are considered to be the most important or influencing um, that affect
Mm.
uh, the life in the heart.
Mm.
So we will also talk about methods for population control. The first two, the euthanasia
Euthanasia.
and euthanasia,
Mm.
euthanasia.
What is that? What is
Um,
euthanasia?
well, the euthanasia is the I guess is the ability of people, uh, the power, the power to be allowed
Okay.
to decide when you want to die.
Okay. There's a simple
And
term for that. That's in layman's term, it's called mercy killing. Mercy killing.
mercy killing.
Yes.
Yes. Uh, in and well, I don't know this if it's differently used in other countries. When
Mm.
but when people talks about euthanasia here,
Mm.
they think that they have the power to decide when they will die. if you are handicapped or permanently in
Mm.
ill, you
Permanently
have
ill.
some illness
Mm.
that
Mm.
you want to die. I don't know. It's not with pride, but uh, you want to decide when you want to die
Mm.
and no
To
longer
end the
suffer.
agony. Mm. To end the agony.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Dying agony is
Mm.
the worst thing that mm, can happen to you. Or
Mm.
talking about these cases,
Mm.
and well, I will refer more vasect, uh, to the
Vasectomy. Mm.
vasectomy, because it's also like the euthanasia is a decision
Mm.
from everyone, from everybody.
Mm.
They want the power to decide when they go through this surgery or procedure,
Mm.
to no longer have the ability of procreate. Mm.
Mm. Exactly.
So,
But
in my
vasectomy
opinion,
and euthanasia are two different things. So here,
yeah,
euthanasia is considered as illegal crime,
mm,
but vasectomy is not because it's your decision. Because you're not killing here. It's a procedure, a surgical procedure to
mhm.
not to have no offspring, or you don't want to have an heir like that. So you don't want to have offsprings, or you don't want to have a family of your own. So it's your own decision, but it doesn't involve killing.
Yeah, I agree. I understand because um, there is legislation in some countries where it's allowed,
Mm.
and for me it's like a win for the people, because I think they have the right. When you don't want to suffer or live in agony, and in my opinion, uh, everybody uh,
It's entitled,
sh- is
entitled
entitled,
to that
or
right.
should be have the right
Mm.
to do so.
Mm.
But this has a religious connotation, because I guess in this side of the world,
Mm.
uh, countries in South America, they they don't or will not allow euthanasia,
Mm.
because the religion says um, I- just God has the right to
Mm.
take out your life.
Mm. Exactly.
Even you is even if it's you, it's your body, and you can kill you can kill yourself.
Mm.
So this religious connotation is because we are considered to be a Catholic
Mm.
country. Yeah, and the same happens with our neighborhoods, Peru.
Mm.
And to my surprise, I doing this research,
Mm.
I found that in Colombia was allowed to.
Mm.
It's legal.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
and but I can found how they achieve this to have the right. No?
Mm.
Um, but in my opinion, mm, it's it should be allowed for everybody to decide when they will want to die.
Mm.
And mm, I'm I'm pro euthanasia, let's say.
Mm.
Well, Um, I separate these two because I think even though euthanasia it's has legislation about that,
Mm,
but in some cases, for me, it's the decision of the person that matters most. But there is other methods for population control that were implemented by the governments, and we will see the examples mainly of the China
mm,
and India,
mm,
uh, especially China because they had this policy for about nearly 3 decades,
correct.
and there is also here says pervasive
Pervasive method.
perverse perverse methods. I guess mm, when people thinks about some uh, conspiration uh, theories, that in some cases there is and it's just not in this conspiration theories because it happened in some countries like in Peru. But we will see this kind of perverse methods, um, and I guess it's just not in Peru, but in other parts of the in other countries.
Mm,
For example, the government applies some of these methods, but specifically to minorities or because they want the population to be uh, more, what's the word, hegemony, all the same.
mm,
So
okay.
in some cases, minorities have been victims of these perverse methods.
Mm,
But we will see this in the next slides.
mm,
And well, when I was researching about this, I found this Malthus theory.
mm,
Well, Robert Malthus
mm,
was a uh, British economist, and I don't know what's there is people that has this profession of uh, calculating the growth of the population. I don't know what's the word.
mathematicians.
No, no, it's not a demographist.
Demography.
Demographist.
Ah, okay. Demography refers to the statistics.
Mhm.
Statistics, is it?
Yeah, but the specifically about the population growing,
Mm,
characteristic of the population you have, and things
mm,
like that.
mm,
And he wrote an essay in 1788.
98.
Yeah, in the like in the beginning of in the dawn of the industrial revolution.
Mm,
Um, well, what he said is um, and he wrote, well he wrote this essay trying to respond, give a response to people in those years. People thought
mm,
that people were poor because they don't have land,
mm,
and that was one of the reasons
mm,
of the poverty.
mm,
But he had other ideas, and he well, his theory says that there will be a problem with the growing population because the food, the crops, the cultives, they grow. Um, they have an arithmetic growth. Meanwhile, the population, the people, they grow exponentially.
mm,
So, drawing a curve um, and a line from the arithmetic growth
mm,
of the
mm,
there was a point in which both lines will intersect,
mm,
and at that point, um, there will be a lot of troubles for the survival of the people. So he also saw that even though uh, there were people cultivating more and there were more food,
mm,
this food was not used to not just food but resource. This resource uh, were not used to increase the life or living standard of the people.
improve,
Yeah,
improve.
actually, sorry,
Used to improve, not increase. Used to improve the living standard.
improve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, improve. Yes,
Okay, and
yeah, improve the quality of life of
mm,
the already existent or living people or human beings,
mm,
but instead, um, uh, what uh, what it did it the population they use these resources, the food, not to improve the quality of the people,
mm,
but it favored the growth of the people
mm,
or more population.
mm,
So they have a lot of resource and food. Um, let's say this wealth per capita was high, but as the population was growing because there was more resources and food, they reverted to having low wealth per capita.
mm,
So it was something contradictory for him. And well, he was against public policies to help poor people because he thought those policies didn't solve the, the poor people problems. And he thought that even worse, they worsen the problem.
mm,
And there is also an study of the lion marriage because in the 17th, 17th century, uh, people used to marriage in his mid 20s or earlier,
mm,
and in that situation, their kids. Well, the person was able to see their kids and their
Grandchildren.
um, grandchildren, or some people even one generation more,
Mm.
but
Great grandchildren.
great,
Great
great,
grandchildren. Great
great,
grandchildren.
yeah, okay, great grandchildrens.
Mm.
So if people delay his marriage
Mm.
until let's say the mid 30s or 40s,
Mm.
this will have an effect on the growing population.
Mm.
So it will decrease the ratio of births.
Mm.
So well, um these mm, theories that Robert Malthus had, and there is a movement that is called neo-Malthusism
Mm.
uh, in nowadays, because people as well, people, they think also in this pessimistic way that at some point um, it will be the problem will be unsustainable.
Mm.
Uh, but there is always the yin to the yang.
Mm.
So there is another movement also, which is called the cornucopian, so also called cornucopian optimism.
Mhm.
So these people uh, opposite to the Malthusian
Mm.
theories. Um, they see things differently. So, for example, they see if more people, uh, um, if there is more population, that that means that there will be more thinking people, or more brains
Mm.
to solve these problems. And basically their idea is opposite to what Robert Malthus taught
Mm.
about the crops, because later it was refuted, because with the industrial revolution and the extensive use of technology in agriculture,
Mm.
his ideas were proved wrong, because thanks to technology, there were ways to produce
Mm.
more food for
Mm.
the growing population.
Mm.
Uh, he was very criticized, and until now, uh, his ideas were proved wrong. So, cornucopian people, or cornucopian optimists, they think that is this increase in population will stimulate a change in agricultural technology.
Mm.
So, given when the moment arrives, or when the time arrives, uh, human beings, they will found, or they will
They will find.
or develop
Mm.
new technologies to solve
Mm.
this problem. I- and if that does not happen, um, there is we went at the end, we found new technology, or new methods to solve this problem. Then the population will not grow because there we didn't solve the problem of the food. Obviously, uh, people will think about it, and the birth rate will decrease. Uh, and in the other side, um, people will die from starvation. So that will reduce the population number.
mm.
So well, they have these ideas, and I'm not sure about the because the people, the new people, that is the new birds, the
Mm,
population that is growing.
mm,
Uh, um, it's my personal opinion, or what I have seen from experience,
mm,
that we are becoming idiots. We are not more intelligent than our ancestors.
mm,
Um, but even uh, founding people, scientists, brains, people that is very intelligent,
mm,
um, it not depends for me in having a larger population.
mm,
Um, the one of the resource that also will decrease is for me, when the population grows,
mm.
is the access to education. So I don't see people that will have the intelligence
Mm,
to to solve these problems in the future.
mm.
Um, well, that
That's a
that
good
is
topic to that's a good topic to discuss next
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
I agree with you
Um,
that note. I cannot see uh based on the trend now, people are more focused on earning money, not focused on how we develop our system of education, how do
mm,
we educate our children, because as we move forward, advance our technology, seems like the technology is making us more idiot.
yeah, yeah. One example will be
Mm,
um, before the invention of the calculators.
mm,
People did mental calculations. So kids today, they depend on their smartphones or calculators to
mm,
do mathematics or arithmetics. Mm, and but that's very sad.
mm,
And well, also, um, well, Malthusians will be one side and cornucopians will be the other side. But they are also called doomsters versus, I don't remember the other term, boomsters, or something like that. They see the worst scenario, and they think that somehow we will solve those problems, and they have a more optimistic uh, view on the situation. There is um, um, I guess two remaining slides.
mm. We will
Yeah,
reserve that
this,
to next class. We will
yeah, yeah,
dwell deeper into the topic, and we will discuss, share our opinions about your presentation, because actually I like it. So in my country, population is we consider our population overpopulated, and it's one
mm,
that the government has been trying to solve for a long time, but up to now, it's it remains unresolved. So I don't know in
Mm,
Colombia, in Bolivia, if you do have the
yeah,
same situation, but
mm,
in Japan, it's the opposite of what we are experiencing. They are, what do you call this? Their population is declining, and uh, their
there is
concern
more
is more
elderly
elderly
people.
than young generation. So yes,
Hmm.
so they needing more healthcare workers, needing more farmers, needing more workers in the factories,
Yeah,
and yeah, they are what to call this? It in
yeah,
contrast
because
to mm,
yeah, I guess like here, elder people, senior people,
mm,
um, they depend on their children to help
mm,
them when they reach eh, 80 years or
senior
so.
citizens
So
age,
they,
senior
yeah,
citizens age.
if
Yeah.
they, yeah,
Mm,
um, if there is no more young people to help them,
mm,
uh, they well, also we are the other side of the coin because we are 11 million of people in Bolivia.
mm,
That's like one less than one habitant by square kilometer,
mm,
and we don't have those problems. There was never policies in the government
mm.
for decreasing or increasing population.
Population. Mm,
Mhm.
right.
At some
So.
point,
Mm,
mm, yeah, we will leave that for the next class.
mm. Reserve that
There
for
is a
next
couple
class.
of slides
Mm,
that are very important also.
mm,
Um, I will complement with some other things that I also remember from some movies I have seen
mm,
that they present some interesting ideas because this problem is it's not new. No, a lot of people did movies about this.
mm. Okay, we will continue with that so that we can dwell really deeper into the presentation. Okay, incorporate
Okay.
that uh-huh, pieces of information next class. We will continue with this topic. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Yes.
I will renew because I realize I don't have more lessons.
Mm,
I will renew the subscription. So we will continue soon the next Saturday
sure,
to
sure,
continue with
sure.
this topic.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
You will
And
not take a break, Christmas break soon? When is your off work from the office?
uh, that's I well that give me a good good news. They renew